Hey guys, I was just doing some spelunking. Came across something cool. I thought I'd show it to you. Start off the episode for today. At least I think it's cool. I had one of those like wow moments in Minecraft as soon as I saw this. That epic cave music played too, and it was just perfect. Alright guys, we're back at our lab here. I had a pretty good haul. I think I got about 15 more diamonds and I think it was close to 10 stacks of redstone. I was really happy about that. 3 stacks of iron, bunch of gold, bunch of lapis. Lapis, yeah. And yeah, so our mission for today is to start working on our spider system, our spider spawning system. So if you're unfamiliar with the concept, I'll run it down for you. Uh, Basically, you need a solid block with an airspace above. Then above that airspace, you need a glass block. This is what Roboticos figured out. And now, directly below this glass, if it was dark, a spider would be able to spawn there. But no tall mobs would be able to because this glass is in the way. So, it's a pretty cool trick. And with that, we can make a spider-only spawning system. And that's what we're going to be doing today. And so I've looked around, I've seen a lot of people's spider systems they've been making, like DocM for example, has made a pretty cool thing. Everybody seems to be making spider switching options, which are really cool. They allow you to have only spiders or have spiders and tall mobs mixed together. I think some have even made it so that you can have only tall mobs, so you have like 3 options there. And they're cool and everything, but I really just want a spider only system because we're going to have 2 spawning systems. We're going to have one dedicated for the spiders only, and we're going to design it specifically for them and their unique shape and climbing ability and all that annoying stuff about them to make it work efficiently. And then we're going to have a second spawning system for the tall mobs only. So we're going to keep them separate and design each one specifically for the shape and that of the mob, because that's, to me, that's the real benefit of being able to make a spider only system, or to make that whole trick with the glass block, and that is so that you can make specific spawning systems for that mob. Now what was I gonna say? I lost my thought now. Where are all my cows and sheep? There's nothing spawning. What's going on? Oh man, I'm worried about this. This has never happened before. I may have messed something up. The chicken's stuck there. That's from before, I know. Still waiting for him to despawn. Did I... No, they're not on. No! I think I'm being affected by the mobs not spawning lich for the first time for some reason. That was unexpected. Yeah, I don't know, that was weird. But they're back to normal now. I just walked towards that island I blew up, or that piece of land I blew up, and came back and is working again, so don't know. Anyway, back to work here. So Originally I was thinking of making a giant spawning pad for the spiders, like just one huge pad with water canals in it to push them the general direction I want them to go. I was even experimenting with lighting for the floor that I could use. And I've actually recorded an episode of me building the spawning pad that I have now deleted because I changed my mind. Yeah, so I came up with a pretty good idea that we're going to do instead. So I loaded my backup and we're redoing everything here. Although it looks like I'm starting fresh. And in the episode I deleted, I decided I was going to build with smooth stone mostly, the pad, because one thing, I don't have enough sandstone to do it. Another thing, cobblestone would be the easiest, but I don't really like how it looks. And also, I don't want to use dirt. So smooth stone, I have an abundant source of it, as long as I have enough fuel to smelt it. And it looks pretty good too. It's actually gonna be the first thing I've ever really built with smooth stone, which is kind of hard to believe because I've been playing this game how long? I always use cobblestone instead, just because it's easier. But we're gonna use smooth stone, and we are going to go up there and get started. So the main problem I'm having here is the passive mob farm is in the way, like really in the way. With this new idea I have, we may end up having to cut off this wing here from the passive mob farm and maybe adjusting things to it later. But for right now, what we're going to do is we're just going to cut a hole through it for this tube. And I'm going to mark where this hole belongs. I have to be quick, otherwise the water will spill out. Ah, dang it. Whew. There we go. Okay. Yeah, let's go up there, find that spot. The spider spawning system I'm making now, instead of being one large pad, it's going to be mostly vertical and several layers, as many layers as we can get. With all this stuff in the way, I figured out I can only get 6 layers, unfortunately, for a total of, let me calculate here, about 800. No, it would be less. It's going to be about 700 spawning spaces for spiders with 6 layers. Kind of small. So yeah, we're just going to cut a hole through here for right now. Oops. Probably leave this one here. Run our tube right through the passive spawning system. I will need to adjust this a little bit because the water currents are really messed up right now. But I'll do that in a little bit later, maybe off camera. Then we need to go through here. Oh yeah, we have that stinking piston switch above us too. Alright, I'll deal with that and then I will be back. Alright, that's done. I hate crippling the passive mob spawning system, but I think in the end it's going to work out better this way, and it shouldn't affect it too much. So our next step here is to start building, and I think I'm going to try do one of those super speed things with voiceover commentary so you can watch me build the whole thing, and hopefully I don't mess up in editing and it actually turns out. So here we go. Here we go. So the first thing I'm doing here is I'm counting out 10 blocks on each of the sides. I gotta make a giant square here. It's gonna be a 20 by 20 square to start out with, and I'm just outlining the borders of it now. Holding shift so I don't fall off. Yeah, this layer here is 20 by 20, but this is not where the spiders are actually going to be spawning on. We got to go up one more layer yet, which the next layer will be 22 by 22. So keep that in mind. Yeah, this is how I like to fill things in. I'll put down these cross sections with 2 or 3 wide airspace between. And then it's really easy to fill in the square. Just hold down right click. Sounds really cool in 3 times speed. I love that noise. And of course I fell down there. I was trying to be very careful not to do that, and I still did it anyway. Just about done here. Yeah, so that's 20 by 20. I'm just counting here to make sure I measured right, because this is the base measurement for my whole thing here. It would suck if I got this wrong. And now I'm just adding an outside border for the second layer. So it's going to be 22 by 22. The layer below is just to hold the water in place, basically, because I'll be drilling some holes in the second layer, and the first layer I put down is to catch the water from spilling everywhere. Alright, got the borders done. I want to make sure I don't fall down again. And fill it in. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've done anything fancy with editing, so I thought I'd give it a shot this time. Last time I tried to do the 3 times speed thing was, I think, for that Nether trip disaster, and I ended up recording the whole thing with voice over commentary, and after about 30 minutes I realized I didn't have my mic plugged in, and yeah, I got pretty upset with that, and I just ended up releasing the episodes, and they're pretty crummy episodes. So I haven't been too excited to try anything fancy in a long time. And now I'm just adding another outside wall. This will be to hold the water and stuff in place. Hard to work in the clouds though, they're pretty annoying. There we go. So I thought for this part of the building we'd do it at regular speed, because it's going to get a little bit more difficult here. And I have my graphics set to fast now, just so the clouds will be less irritating. We're going to be doing the water canals now. And I know it looks like I've built this before, but I haven't. I'm just going off of something I doodled on paper, this whole design. So this is a little bit challenging for me yet still too. But for the centers, we're going to have... I do need an infinite pool somewhere. For the centers, we'll have the water like this. I think this will work good because it'll kind of suck the spiders into the center and they won't be able to go out of the stream by going left or right, I hope. That ends up short. How did I figure this? I think I have to go forward 2 blocks. Something tells me I made this too big. I think I gotta go forward 1 more block yet. Right. Make some pressure plates. Oh wait, how did I do that? I was gonna have 2 blocks behind there and then a pressure plate. Don't understand why I have all this space. I'm sure I built this too big. Anyway, so the trick here is going to be to dig down 2 blocks here. This is why we have that layer below. And then dig down, I think around here. Should work okay. Oh yeah, we got this issue. We should place blocks over top actually. Just so that our water doesn't freeze while we're working. Alright. Stinking ice. There we go. Oh, went through another diamond pick. Alright, now it should be safe to remove these. Just like magic. Water stays where we want it to. And now... definitely messed up somewhere here. Okay, well we'll try building another one on this side. How did we do this? And then the next one should go here. And we had the pressure plates 3 from the wall there. I'm not sure why it's so big. Don't know why I put those there. Okay, put those there. And then 2 behind. Get some more water. Better place a torch. Do that. Cover them again. Look how fast that froze. Okay. And then we'll punch our holes there and add this one 2 away from the end. Trying to do this without using signs. Just because I think It's a lot better if you can make something without signs. So it ends right at the hole. That's perfect. But I figured something out wrong here, I'm sure. Let me count this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, definitely counted wrong. So I gotta move these walls in one, it seems. And then I will be back. That's done now. It's gonna affect my plans a little bit though, the way I figured this. Because the next thing we're gonna do here is the outside stream. So this is the main stream actually, I should mention. This is what's gonna get our spiders down the hole. But I also want to put a stream over here that'll push them that way and that way if they come to this outside wall, just so that they'll get closer to the center here and hopefully get down faster. And if I was to place water here, it would just spill out everywhere. So we can't do that. We need to do something fancy. We're going to put a barrier here for it. Like that. Now when we place it, and we will put stone above. Now it does that. But again, if we remove this, it'll just come out. So we're going to dig down all the way here. Again, that's why we have that layer below. Like that. And now it's safe to remove our soil barrier. There. And so what that leaves us with is this 7 by 7 pad here. This is what the spiders are going to spawn on. But the way I had this figured before is this water stream was like over here. So the spider would get forced into the center stream. Now it's just pointing at nothing, unfortunately. So should try to deal with that. Actually, what I'll do, using stone pressure plates now, maybe I'll extend this and put a water here. That'll force the spider into the stream that way, if he decides he wants to go to this outside wall instead of going to the center here like we want him to. Yeah, okay. And then in the center here, we're going to drill a hole. And I'm going to copy this pattern and I will be back. There it is, that's the floor plan. So each of these pads is 7 by 7. But unfortunately, because spiders are so fat, we don't get the full 7 by 7 here. Because if they were to try to spawn, say here, they need that 3 by 3 airspace around them for the spawning to work. And if they try to spawn here, guess what? We got water next to that block, so it doesn't count. So we only count 5 by 5 really, even though it's 7 by 7. And we're missing a block in the center, so it's only 24 blocks of spawning space, each of these pads. So 24 times 4 is 96, right? So each layer I build will be 96 spawning spaces for spiders. Which isn't a whole lot, but it will be super effective, efficient, whatever, when it's all done here. And I'm going to make six layers like this. So directly above this one, we're going to have another layer. Each layer takes up 3 vertical spaces. Unfortunately, we're really close to the top of the map, so I can only go up another 5 layers. So, yeah. That's what I will do. Let's finish this up, though. I realized I'm being pretty silly with the smooth stone. I'm going to switch to using cobble, because once this is built, there's no way of actually even seeing in here, because it's only going to be 1 high for the spiders, so there's no way of entering here. So, switching to cobble for the inside stuff, and I'll keep smooth stone on the outside. Anything that you can see, I guess. Just to save all my coal, which is dwindling away. So, fill all this in. Putting cobble over all the water stream sections, just to save on glass. And over here. One really good advantage about making this only 1 high is spiders can't really fight the water streams if they only have a 1 high clearance, because they hit their head on that 1 high clearance. So that's the main reason why I didn't want to use the standard water canals for this, because they jump around in those, and if you let them climb, they will climb. So they won't be able to climb in here. And then we need to put glass over the areas where they can spawn. I guess technically you probably don't need on these outsides, this outside 7x7 ring, as I covered already. But I'm going to put it just in case it has any influence. I don't think it does. Just like that. And then I'm going to leave a hole in the center here. And then I would start the next layer. So I would put down another layer of cobble over this, I guess. That'll make it dark inside. Don't want to cover up my hole though. And oh, I do have more. Sweet. Finish this up. I'm only going to show you one, then I'm going to do the rest off camera. Okay. So then this would be the next pad for the spiders to spawn on. Directly what we're on here. And we would have the water around it. And it would all go to the center like this one below. And we're just making a tall vertical tower type thing. Then the beauty of all this, once it's all done, at the very top we'll have pistons controlling lava. And the lava will flow down a column down the center here, and it will light up every single pad on its way down. Because if there's lava right where the soil block is, it lights up. Lava's light level 15. This would be 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9 at the very corner here. And mobs can spawn at light level 7 or less, so if it's light level 9 they won't be able to spawn. So if we have lava flowing down, it should do the trick. Can light up however many pads we want using only 4 lava, so that's cool. However many stacks of these pads, whatever. I don't know what to call them. That's the plan. It's going to take a lot of resources though, because well, let me figure it out here. I use 7 times 7, that's 49. 200 times 6. I'll need 1200 glass just to do 6 stacks of these pads. I don't know where I'm going to get all that glass. That's a lot. Uh, it's good I switched to cobble though, because I will have no problem getting that much cobble. Smooth stone, on the other hand, I would have a problem with that, because I don't have that much coal. But yeah, that's the plan. I will continue this more off camera, and hopefully sometime soon we can see it actually work. Again, that's not much spawning space, only 24 blocks. That's very little. So, yeah, I'll figure it out. 24 times 4 times 6. With 6 stacks, we will have 576 blocks of spawning space. That's also very little. So I might have to move the passive mob farm so I can put in a few more stacks to get more space. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I'm going to end it here. Thank you for watching, and take care as always. Bye-bye. Yeah, so we got some bad news, guys. It looks like I'm going to have to load my backup and rethink all this. Because even though that concept looked like it was good, it is not good. So it's all closed off inside there. We got the 96 spawning spaces in one layer. And very few spiders, if any at all, are actually spawning it compared to, you know, like the 20 or so that are spawning on top if it was a flat surface. So I don't know if the glass has something to do with that or not. But regardless, my rates suck inside there. The other problem, if a spider does spawn in there, he seems to not want to go in the water streams. So that didn't work out too well. They just wander around and they don't seem to go into the water streams. It's like they know to avoid them. So, yeah.